Get down. It's the Thormanator. I'm going to talk to you today about spiritual warfare. But you got to look out. Okay, when the devil's coming around, you got to get down. You can't take on the devil all by yourself. You need help. You got to look out when he's around. Now, the Thormanator is no stranger to spiritual warfare. I engage in warfare every day because I look out. I look out for the devil when he's around. And when he's around, I get down. I get down. I get down. And your pastor, Brother Chris, is going to talk to you in just a minute about spiritual warfare. And I'm going to talk to you even more about warfare because I engage in warfare all the time. It's war. All about my life. Just war, 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 war. Always war. I have my weapons and I'm prepared for war. I'm prepared for battle. Every day, all day. I have my machete. I have my crossbow. I have my fist of fury. I'm ready for spiritual warfare. I'm ready for any kind of warfare. And I look out and I get down. Now, I want to let you know about the enemy. See, that's one thing you have to understand is when you go out, there's always going to be an enemy. Now, I have my enemies, you have your enemies, and we all share a common enemy. The enemy is the devil. And when you see the devil, you look out. You get down. You cannot defeat him on your own. You need help. So you look out and get down. And you get down on your knees and you pray for Jesus, and he comes to help you with the devil. And he engages the spiritual warfare with you. And you look out and you get down. See, the devil is your enemy and he wants to destroy you. The Bible says that he is running around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. And he'll devour you. That's why you look out and get down. Look out and get down. So you're an enemy, but then you have to know that not only do you have an enemy, but that you have help on the front lines of battle. You're not going to the battle alone. No, you're looking out. And there's someone looking out for you. And they're getting down with you. And they're moving forward with you in this battle. That's right. Every day, spiritual warfare. Look out. Get down. You have an enemy, but you also have help in the battle. And then you have weaponry for the battle. You don't go in empty-handed. You have battle weapons. You have a knife. You have a machete for slicing and dicing. You have a bow for killing people. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't kill people. For shooting demons at long distances. You shoot them from here, there, everywhere. You could be the demon Thormanator. Look out. Get down. Now, you have help in the battle. You have your weaponry, and you know who your enemy is, and you look out and get down. All the time, look out, get down. That's what you do, look out, get down. Look out for the enemy. Get down on your knees and pray for help from Jesus. And then you march forward to the spiritual warfare in battle. And you take on the demons. You take on the principalities. You take on the devil. You take on those who are in the spiritual forces in the dark heavenly realms. And then you get down and you look out and you destroy the enemy. That's spiritual warfare. It's every day. It never ends. It never goes away. And so the question that you must ask yourself is this. How do you fight spiritual warfare? How do you fight these battles every day? Every day. Every day. How do you fight these battles? Just remember what the Thormanator has said. You look out. You look out for the enemy. And you get down. You get down on your knees and pray. And then when the helper comes, you march forward into battle. You take up your weapons and you fight off the evil forces of this world. But don't take my word for it. Look out, get down. You take your pastor's word for it. He's the one that tells you what you need to know. But I am the example. You strap up for battle like me. You get ready. Get your weapons. Get you some cool clothes to wear. Get you some nice shoes. You look like this, you're ready for any battle. Look out, get down. Boys and girls, listen to me. Spiritual warfare and battle is not just for adults. Everybody engages in spiritual warfare and battle. You have to as well. Every day you get up and you go to school, you engage in spiritual warfare. Every day you get up and you go somewhere and you see people you engage in spiritual warfare and battle, because the scripture says our battle is not against flesh and blood, look out, but it's against the principalities and darkness of this world. And that's who we battle. But that's enough from me. You can take it from the Thormanator. Listen, I was born for battle. It's all I know is battle and warfare. Look out, get down. I am ready for this. I am ready for anything. But are you ready for anything? Because the devil will use any means necessary to bring you down. Any means necessary to bring you down to where he is. All the way down. Look, down, down, and below down. The devil will take you way down. All the way down. Look out for the devil. I'm going to send it over to your pastor. I've got things to do, things to accomplish. There's more battles out there waiting for me. But remember what I'm going to do. I'm going to look out. I'm going to look out. I'm going to get down. I'm going to get down. And then I'm going to engage in spiritual warfare and battle. I'll be back. Hasta la vista, baby.
Well, the Thormanator was right about one thing. Spiritual warfare is something that we all have to deal with. It's something that whether we're man, woman, boy, girl, child, adult, teenager, doesn't matter. Spiritual warfare is something we all have to deal with. And when I say spiritual warfare, I'm talking about the battle that we face every day to do right, and the battle we face every day to follow Jesus. All right. And it is a spiritual battle. And a lot of the times we can't see this battle going on because it's not, against like two people or two teams or something like that that's going on right in front of us. It's an internal battle sometimes, or sometimes it's a battle that takes place in the heavenly places. And so it's kind of hard to fight that battle because it's not something you can see always right before your eyes. And so that's what makes it hard. And Ephesians 6:10-13 is what the Thormanator was talking on today. And I'll read that passage to you. It says, "Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers and against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Therefore, put on the full armor of God so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you've done everything, stand." All right. So that's the kind of the Bible text leading up to the armor of God. And, next week we're going to talk about that. This will be a 2-part thing. So next week we're going to talk about the actual pieces of the armor. All right. But this week it's just helping you understand this idea that we are always at war with the devil and with our flesh. That's our sinful man, the sinful part of us. And it's a battle that goes on every day, right? And sometimes we lose battles and sometimes we win battles. But at the end of the day, because of Jesus, we can be victorious over all of it. Okay. But it does take some work on our part, and we do have to fight these battles. So it talks about putting on the full armor of God. And next week, like I said, we'll get into each piece. But I want you to know this week about that. You cannot just put on a couple of pieces and go out to battle and think that you're good, because there's like 6 pieces of armor here that we've got to strap up and put on every day. And so you can't just put a couple pieces on and say, "Oh, I'm good to go. That's good. I can defeat evil and defeat sin and defeat the evil forces that are against me." You can't do that with just a couple of pieces. You have to put on all of it. Okay. And so we're going to talk about that more next week when we talk about each piece. But we put on, it says the full armor of God. It says it like 3 times. Okay. So that we can take our stand. And listen, I don't like it when people think they are so awesome and so powerful that they can just take on the devil without any trouble. Listen, The devil is a powerful foe. And if we, people, me, you, try to go up against him on our own, we are going to be defeated. We need help, okay? And our help comes from the Lord. And so, several years ago, anyone that was ever in my youth groups or, that's been a youth pastor, been around ministry for a while will know, some of you other kids may have seen the shirts, but there used to be a really popular shirt that was out there that was like, it said something like, "Hey, Satan, come at me, bro." And it was like this shirt that basically just, invited Satan to attack you. Like, come at me. See what you can do. Okay. So like, I understand what they're saying. The shirt was trying to say that because of Jesus, Satan can't defeat us, but to call out the devil into a fight is foolish, right? So we don't want to fight the devil if we don't have to. We just stay away from him. But a lot of the times he brings the fight to us and we have to stand and fight. That's why it says, put on the full armor of God to take your stand. All right. So we are there standing against him. We're not charging into battle against him. Jesus did that for us. We don't necessarily have to do that. But sometimes the devil comes against us and we have to take a stand against him. All right. And so when we take a stand against him, we have to understand the rest of what it says. That our struggle is not against flesh and blood, although sometimes it's going to be people and other things in this world, right, that the devil and his forces are using. But understand at the end of the day, our battle is not against flesh and blood. So here's what it looks like. I have a lot of good friends, but let's just say, I've got Billy Joe over here is my friend. And Billy Joe has done a lot of things to really upset me lately and has attacked me, personally, called me names, spread rumors about me, blah, 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 blah. Now, I got one of two options here. I can get mad at Billy Joe because Billy Joe has said this and he's done this, and I can take my anger and blame out on him. Or I can do the biblical thing and realize that my battle in this world like that is not necessarily against flesh and blood, but it's against, as it says here, the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of the dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. So it's not Billy Joe per se that is, causing me trouble. It's the devil and his forces, and they may be using Billy Joe to accomplish that. All right. But ultimately, Billy Joe is still my friend. But right now, the devil has just got a hold of him and is using him to hurt me. Okay. So that's what that means. So we take our stand against the devil because he's going to bring the fight to us. He's going to do that with God's people from time to time. It's just what he does. We don't need to take the fight to him. There's no need in that. Jesus did that. But he's going to bring the fight to us from time to time. Sometimes it's the devil. Sometimes it's his forces. Whatever. All right, so he's going to bring the fight to us. And sometimes he's going to use people to do that. But that's why the scripture teaches us here that our battle is not against flesh and blood. It's not against those people. Our battle is always against the devil and his forces. All right, against the evil in this realm, in this world, and in the heavenly places. So that's what our battle's against. That's spiritual warfare. And that's why I said we can't always see spiritual warfare. It's not always right in front of us because we realize our battle is against the devil and his forces, but we don't see the devil, right? We just see what's going on around us. We see other people and we see things like that. And we think, well, how is this happening? Well, sometimes that's how it happens. And then other types of spiritual warfare involve the devil just personally attacking us. He may not necessarily use other people. He may just directly attack us, right? And so we have to stand our ground against him right then and there. And, it may not even involve another person. It may just be a direct attack on us. Bam. That's it. It's all part of spiritual warfare and battle. That's why it says in verse 13, put on the full armor of God so that when the day of evil comes, so that when that day happens, when we have to go to battle against the devil, all right, when that happens, all right, we will be able to stand our ground. All right, that's it. Stand your ground. All right. And after you've done everything, stand. So that's what it's about. Listen, it's not about going out and meleeing and like just sparring with the devil over and over. Like, we shouldn't want that. It's about standing our ground. Like, I'm going to be here in my relationship with the Lord. I'm going to be in this little area. And when the devil tries to invade that and attack it and attack me, I'm going to stand my ground. I'm going to push him out of my bubble, out of my area, push back the powers of darkness. and then I'm going to continue to live my life with the Lord. Listen, I don't live in my little area, bubble, my relationship with God, and I don't sit around and think, man, I'm going to go out there and find the devil and take the fight to him. Man, I can't wait to go see where he's at, and I'm going to just go over there and charge and fight and attack it. Look, we're not powerful enough to do that, all right? We're going to need help with that. We need Jesus. And here's the thing. I don't have to do that now because Jesus has already did that when he died on the cross and rose again. So now it's about standing our ground, all right? It's about holding on to what we have until we get into eternity, all right? It's about not losing ground, not losing battles, but it's about winning the battles when they come to us and being victorious in this life as Christians, okay? So that's what the Thormanator was talking about when he said spiritual warfare and battle. So we engage in this every day. It happens all the time. The difference is we need to open our eyes and we need to see this going on around us because it is. And so realize that you're going to fight battles every day. Sometimes it's direct attacks from the devil and his forces to you. Other times he might use other people, but realize your battle's not against those people. It's against the devil and his forces. Don't be mad at them. Be mad at the devil. It's his fault. And let's do our best to stand our ground. And when those battles come, we put on the full armor of God. Well, what is the full armor of God? Well, we'll check it out next week, hopefully with another special guest. But if not, you can get me, Brother Chris, and I feel like I'm just as awesome as the Thormanator.